into the Cypher. Prepare for another all night.
On the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Of course, he's one of the greatest linebackers in the history of the team. That goes without saying, one of the best in the history of the league. Yeah, I guess, I'd say that too. But, it's great that he played his whole career with one team. I hope he doesn't try to come back. That's my thing.
No, I think he made the decision that, look, here's something that people have to accept. Is that I know people don't understand all the things that Phil Emery has done in the offseason. This man knows what he's doing. You actually have a competent general manager. Remember, he scouted, I say this all the time, I'm going to beat it like a dead horse. He scouted Urlacher, Briggs, Vasher, Brown, Harris. He brought that class, he brought Urlacher into the Bears organization. You got to look at it this way. After 13 seasons, Urlacher wanted, $11 million for 3 years. They couldn't come to a middle ground on this. They came back and said, we'll give you a year for 2. He's like, no, I'll take a year for 3. $1 million is what kept the Bears and Urlacher apart from coming together. Here's what I think is sad about it. The bottom line is that this is not the way his career should have ended. This is not the storybook ending you expect for someone of his caliber. But let me finish. Wait. Let me just say this. Okay. Urlacher should have had a little vision. He got his paydays when it was time for him to have his paydays with this organization. The realization for him was this: nobody came calling. So does that mean the Bears, they made a bad choice? The only team that courted a conversation about maybe bringing Urlacher on was the Vikings. And that might have been purely speculation. And there's also some ex-Bears with Singletary, obviously, and Leslie Frazier as head coach. Nobody else came knocking. So you got to ask yourself a question. Did the Bears make the right decision? And I think at the end of the day, they did. This had to come to an end, and this is why I wish Urlacher would have had a little bit more vision and said, okay, you know something? Let me just, play with free agency, and just the way he was like saying it wasn't a negotiation, it was an ultimatum. His rhetoric was wrong. I really need to start a PR firm. I need to join on Rock Nation and ask them if I can do their PR. Seriously, because people don't understand that it didn't have to end this way on either side. I don't think the Bears made a wrong choice. I'm honestly going to say that. Okay,
so what would have been the alternative ending on the director's cut?
Here would have been the alternative.
On the director's cut of Brian Urlacher's career.
Here's the alternative thing. He takes the deal they gave, because it isn't like he should need the money. It isn't like he needs the money. He should have taken the 1-year deal for $2 million, because like I said, he got his paydays with the organization, and then they could have said, this will be the last season behind closed doors. Let's just phase this out and go from there. He should have taken that 1-year deal, because you got to understand, at some point, the career is coming to an end. He should have taken the 1 year. And I felt that way before. I was like, is he making a bad choice?
Well, I don't know. I do think that the Bears made the right decision, no doubt. But even with his comments about retiring, say, you know what, I wouldn't have been able to really help a team. So
Demons.
I don't know if that's just not now he's seen it because he's out the door. Like,
Demons.
you know what, I guess nobody want me. I guess I can't play.
It was a slap to his pride.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. I understand that. I do understand
so
that.
You got to backtrack somehow and try not to look kind of ridiculous and say, in hindsight, yeah, maybe it is over for me. And that's why I said he should have had that realization way before now. He could have played one more year. Here's the thing. The Bears are in a transition defensively. They're not going to keep running cover 2. They're looking to eyeball maybe a 4-3-3-4, which is not happening next year. It's a process. And like I said, when they lost Hunter Hillenmeyer, he was kind of Urlacher's fill-in, especially with being able to change calls at the line of scrimmage. That is the only thing they will miss, is that he did have a good defensive mind and could read offenses. They'll miss that. They're going to have to make the compensations for that. It's just the way it was handled. And then to me, I feel they threw salt on the wound by coming out to say that they're retiring Dicka's number 89,
they did.
On December 9th when they played the Dallas Cowboys. And then here's the thing that got me, though, and I think this was a PR move. Like, we need to kind of reconnect with our fans and do something because we all know we love Dicka. But I'm going to tell you why I feel like it's such a slap in the face to Urlacher. They went on to say, McCaskey went on to say specifically, he indicated that Dicka would be the last number to be retired. It's the 14th retired jersey. It'd be the last way to be retired. He said, after this, we don't intend to retire any more numbers, but we thought if there was going to be one last one, there's no more one appropriate than 89.
Yeah. Because they can't. Because they retired too many numbers.
Okay.
That's the problem.
Okay, here's my thing. That's not even a statement that has to be made, because look at it this way. You're Brian Urlacher. People look at you as being one of the greats that played in a Bears uniform. And the organization then turns around and says, hey, guess what? Not only did we get rid of you, we're not going to ever really probably acknowledge you beyond anything else.
So what you're kind of saying is it was more than money then. was just split up. It was
I'm
other
going
stuff.
to tell you something. I know people aren't going to like it. I think the Lovie Smith departure split camps and split hairs. Seriously. And Brian was one of Lovey's boys, along with Hester and some other folks. And seriously, I think when he departed, I think people got too vocal. And understand this, Phil Emery is no punk at all. The man does not play. He knows his stuff. And he was coming in to take over and to take charge. And I think the Lovie Smith thing didn't sit well with a lot of players at all. But I'm just saying.
But you think that would go this far with a guy like Urlacher? I mean, with George McCaskey kind of saying it. But you think that would go this far to say, okay, we won't retire your number because you didn't like the fact we fired Lovie Smith?
No, I think it's saying we're going to show you how much we really care. We're probably not going to retire another number. Ooh, that means you too.
But
I'm just saying,
that's what I mean.
It didn't have to be said. I think they just sent out the wrong message. I'm like, why would you say something like that? Like, knowing the kind of player that Urlacher was and how people respected him, especially the fan base respected him. I mean, Urlacher has the reputation, when you think of, and here's to be honest, when I think of the Bears, I don't even necessarily think Dicka. I think more like Dick Butkus, to tell you the truth, and Mike Singletary. And I kind of throw Brian Urlacher in that kind of historic Bears, linebackers that were passionate. In the beginning of his career, Urlacher was not overrated in any way, shape, or form. Now, it might have, in his decline, he wasn't the same player, but I don't ever think he was overrated, especially early in his career.
Yeah.
But then to say that we probably won't retire any more numbers, I just think, wow, not only am I now no longer playing the game I love with the team that, drafted me and I played with them, and that was where my career was, everything about them now I'm locked out of. I just think it was a bit much, in my opinion.
Was it definite, like a no?
He was like, pretty much, this will be the last one, is what he said. Now, he can always retract his words, obviously.
I know the NFL basically came and said, like, y'all can't retire any more numbers because y'all retired too many numbers as it is. I'm shocked they're even doing it with Dicka.
I was going to say, the Dicka thing
But
is
here's the thing,
surprising
though.
to me.
It's only the 14th jersey that they've retired. Here's the thing. The Bears are a historic franchise in the NFL. If you've only retired 14, is it really that many when you think about how long the NFL and football has been around? It's not that many. But I just don't think he needed to say that given the current climate. I just think it was a bit much, in my opinion. I was like, well, rub salt in it, why don't you? I'm just saying. And he rubbed salt in his wound. Not only did nobody want you, and we're not retiring your jersey, ever.
I don't think that's going to happen. I think eventually down the road, probably 10 years or so, I think Urlacher will get his number retired. I can't believe that they wouldn't retire Brian Urlacher. That's going to happen. That has to happen.